All right.
All right.
It says we're live. It
Cool.
says we're live.
What's up, everybody?
What's up, everyone, and welcome to a special all-out review edition of the Just, and this time it is only two. But for how much longer will it be two? Bum bum bum. Mark's Wrestling Recap Show. I am the Athletic Geek, joined by Eric Wade,
Mm-hmm.
and we're gonna try a little something new tonight. We're gonna maybe try and start reviewing pay-per-views, giving pay-per-view reviews their own episode, a real quickie, and also if it's a pay-per-view that coincides with a giveaway, we'll be doing our prizes here. Miss Ace is here. What's up? I believe he's our first prize winner, but let's get to the
Nice.
intros. This is the Just at this time two Marks Wrestling Recap Show. Eric and I met at All In and Starcast last year. We love wrestling. We love sharing our love of wrestling with other passionate wrestling fans like each and every one of you out there. However, just like each and every one of you out there, we're just fans like you. We avoid insider terms. Our opinions are just of yours. Because we're not wrestlers, we're not insiders. At the end of the day, we are just two Marks. And we're gonna just jump right into the prize given. Eric, you are tied for second with Kevin Huntsberger, who actually I'll post a link in the description box when this gets done processing. Kevin was a is a big figure here in the independent wrestling scene in my area, and he's also a former news anchor. Ray's in the house. It's you.
It's you.
Going all right, Miss Ace. So check out my interview with him on the Geeking Out podcast from a number of weeks ago. Really cool guy. Really appreciate his time, and he tied for the man on the other end of the tin cannon string here with for second place. So we're going to draw. Oh, first of all, but since we have one person, the grand prize winner, beat Eric, you do get an extra prize because you were able to stop him from the grand prize. So congratulations there. But you can see here on there, we got Kevin and we
What
got
was the
Eric.
one? What was the one they missed? The battle royal.
Well, just various people, the battle royal or the 8 man. That's another
Yeah.
big one, and yeah. So going to put Eric and Kevin here into the Justice League Hat of Doom. Shaking them up, shaking them up. And sorry, Eric.
Got to pick from the Magic Hat.
Yeah, you didn't get picked from the Magic Hat, so Kevin Huntsberger is your second prize winner. Eric,
Nice.
Eric, you got third again this week. It seems to be there was the Schoolhouse Rock song 3 is a magic number. That's kind of you. Third place is the magic number for you.
I'm on the
Um,
board.
yeah, you are on the board, so that's always good. So we'll just go ahead and we'll draw your comic book. We got another one here for you. For all the prize winners watching this, it'll be next Tuesday when these all get shipped out. My work schedule has been crazy, but I do go on vacation next week, so I'll be able to actually make it to the post office to ship these by then. Apologize for the inconvenience, but they will be coming. Please trust me on this one. But Eric, your comic book here in the box O Comics is let me pull Justice League Europe number 43.
Nice. Cool.
All right, now go with your Justice League Task Force that you won last time.
Yeah, I'm
Um,
into it.
all right, those are some 90s books. That's some 92, I believe. It says on the yeah 92 for the Justice League Europe. So, all right. So as far as Kevin is concerned, yeah, Cole Cabana did. Yeah, I thought. All right, so comic book for Kevin is doom doom doom. He gets a Daredevil number 14.
Very
So
cool.
that's cool for him. I'll set that aside and figure out a way to get that to Kevin. And we'll get his figure drawn too here from the Box O Loose Figures. Let's see what we got here.
Let's see, drum roll.
Wins an American Badass Undertaker.
Oh yeah.
All right. Cool stuff, cool stuff. And now our grand prize winner, Marcel, who entered on Facebook. Oh, Kevin entered on Instagram, so if you want to check his work, make sure I'm running a fair contest. He entered on my Instagram page. Go ahead and draw his figure. Let's see what we got here. His figure will be feeling around for a bitty. Oh, I looked. I gotta go to the other side of the box because I peeked. Not that it matters, but I just wanna Scott Hall, classic, WCW, Scott Hall. So that's
Oh, there it is. Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Was it the Bone Crusher?
It's just it's the one. I remember they talked about him on Brian Zane. This is the one like if you press the button, it like vibrates. Don't know why, but you win that.
Yeah, that was his finishing move. Remember when he could vibrate on people?
Yeah. That's all about Scott Hall's finishing move right there. So there's his figure. We'll put that with his Scott Steiner he won for the SummerSlam. Just really rocking the WCW there. Get some comic book out. Let's see. Digging down deep. Oh, look, because I didn't want to tear it, because not all these have bagging boards. If I pull one that doesn't, I'll get you one with one, and it is Detective Comics number 45. All right. From the New 52 run. So there is his...
Oh, is that when Jim Gordon took over the Batsuit?
That was when Jim Gordon took over the Batsuit. So, yeah, we'll get his DVD now from the TNA backpack. DVD. What we got as far... What? Jimmy Hart shoot interview. So,
Oh, nice.
Yeah, Jimmy Hart is an interesting guy, so you get to check that out. And
I'm sure he's got some stories.
oh yeah. And t-shirt. Your t-shirt is picked up 2. Blind bag drop 1. A purveyor of violence. John Moxley t-shirt. So.
Nice.
So yeah, it's a good hole there with all that. And I dropped, I don't know if I should tell you or not, I dropped a Robbie Eagles Sniper of the Skies Bullet Club shirt for you. So maybe next time you can get that one, or maybe somebody else can get that one. Either way. So sorry, Robbie. And finally, the bonus prize, if it would come to me. Oh, come here, you. Excuse me. Come here, you jackwagon. I'm trying not to be too lewd. From the Thingo posters from courtesy of Eric Hodson, and some of these are even autographed, so who knows what you're going to get. You will receive... I know we got an autograph last time. You have one. This one's not autographed, but it is pretty cool. It is a Booker T versus Kurt Angle comic art style poster. So, sorry it wasn't autographed, but it's still pretty awesome. And hey, if when the conventions start back up, you can get this autographed by both Booker and Kurt. So, still pretty cool.
What cover is that one based off of?
I don't know this one. It looks. I'll have to look that up. I'll look that up and I'll send you a message. if I can find out. But it's a Jack Kirby cover because Eric put on there after Jack, so it's a Jack Kirby cover of some kind. I'll ask about because it's one I'm not too familiar with, but it's still pretty cool. So if you can, like I said, if you're ready to meet Kurt or Booker, this would be awesome for them to get signed. But you get the poster, the DVD, the Scott Hall figure, the Moxley shirt, and the Batman book. I'd still say you got a pretty good haul for a grand prize.
Yeah, that's a pretty good one.
Yes, it is. And you have Yes, Awesome, and oh, that's pretty cool. Yeah. But thank you guys. And remember, if you can outpick Eric next time, you will also get another poster. One of them might be autographed. Just saying. So now that we get the fun and the festivities out of the way, well, let's talk about the show. It was, much like all this bag of stuff, a very mixed bag. We'll start with the very, very controversial opening match. Big Swole versus Dr. Britt Baker in a tooth and nail match. Eric, what'd you think of this match?
I didn't enjoy it as much. I thought it didn't really hit the
Right.
mark. It wasn't as they should have made it a little bit more goofy, or something was off about it.
Yeah.
Like the camera or something was off about it, where it just seemed cheap.
I think
if
it was like, go ahead.
If they would have switched it and had it with the first match and switched it with the first match, so it went on second, it probably would have went along quicker. But since it was first, it was the first thing I was like paying attention to. So it was kind of like stood out more or whatever. So I getting the ball rolling and already getting me enjoying myself, and
Right.
So I think maybe the placement was weird, but just watched it for I liked it. I'm not like I didn't hate it, whatever, but I just didn't think it was it reached the market it was trying to or should have.
Right. I agree. I didn't think we have our own group chat outside of all this, and a lot of people had a lot to say about it. I don't think it was as bad as some people felt. Some people thought it was just awful, and I can see their point, but to me, I did kind of like how they had a lot of callbacks to the other stuff, and I think at the end of the day, most people just really wanted to see Swole kick Britt's ass, and they did deliver on that. I kind of agree. It's kind of like they were trying to be goofy, but injected too much serious, and then when you felt like it was trying to be serious, they injected too much goofy, but I didn't hate it as much as everybody else did, but I'm not going to sit here and tell you it was my all-time favorite thing of any kind. It was just kind of there, and I kind of see why it was supposed to be on the pre-show now.
Yeah. What was on the pre-show? I forget. They had two matches, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe just one. But even then, if you didn't, because that's only on YouTube or whatever, right? Pre-show. So, if you didn't watch the pre-show, or if you're just going to All In straight without seeing the first matches, or whatever, and you didn't have the ball rolling, like I was saying, it's just weird. It was a weird opening, but it's like me. I like watching trauma movies, like Toxic Avenger, where it's like kind of homemade-ish looking, or whatever. And I enjoy that because it's like, oh, I get what I paid for. It's just a cheap laugh or two, whatever. But that's kind of what this felt like. It just felt like a B movie, where it was kind of like, yeah, it was good, but not great. But I'm surprised Big Swole won, too. I think that was who I picked. I liked how the finish was, because if anyone's been to a dentist before, it's just like that, where they'll put you to sleep in a second.
Yeah, you did pick Big Swole.
Yeah.
So I did think the ending was kind of cool, where she tore up her PhD and threw it on her. I thought that on Britt, that was kind of cool. But other than that, it just it is what it is, and
Well, so I don't know. Have we even ever seen a cinematic match with women before yet, though?
Not really.
This might have been the first one, because I mean, for the first, if you put it in that perspective, for the first one, that's pretty cool. You know what I mean? Like they'll learn from this and move on, but it just wasn't as great as like the Stadium Stampede, or it wasn't as great as
the Boneyard match.
Boneyard, yeah.
The pre-show matches were Joey Janela with Sonny Kiss beating Supernetico with Luther. And Private
Yeah, that's
Party
a,
defeating Reynolds and Silver of the Dark Order. That were the pre-show matches.
oh, okay. Yeah, Dark Order's been getting a lot of airtime lately.
Oh yeah, I'm liking it. I'm liking it a lot. So the next match, switching gears big time, was the Young Bucks versus defeating. Sorry for the spoilers, but if you're watching this, I'm gonna assume you've seen the pay-per-view. If you have not seen it, turn this off now. Young Bucks defeated the Jurassic Express,
Jurassic
Luchasaurus and
Express.
Jungle Boy.
Yeah, I got this prediction wrong. Everyone saw the Jurassic Express winning this one.
Yeah,
The
you
Bucks
missed this
won.
one. Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and they didn't have the immediate heel turn that I expected either. I thought they were gonna like attack the people for after the match was done or something was
right.
gonna go down, but they kind of just stormed off. But
Yeah,
it was a good match though.
I really like the match. You know, I feel like down the road you're gonna see a better one, maybe a little further down on the card. Um, but as far as this one, like I feel like this was a good first encounter with them on a pay per view. Um, Jurassic Express is awesome. Uh, I like the Young Bucks. They're not my hill to die on defending them, even though I will defend the Young Bucks. But there's like I said, it's not my hill to die on. But I still think they did a really good job in this match, and I don't really have a wasn't the greatest tag team match ever, but definitely wasn't the Revolution match they had with Hangman and Kenny. But overall, it was a fine match.
Yeah, well, I thought I just didn't like that they won because they didn't need it. But I like the way that they set everything up, where they didn't get to. They made Jungle Boy look really, really strong the whole thing by letting him not only kick out of a lot of stuff, or whatever, but every time they try to go for their usual finishes, the Melter Driver or the Indie Taker, they always got interrupted somehow by someone, so they had to
Right.
improvise by using the super kicks and stuff. So it was kind of cool to see that these new teams, maybe they've been watching their stuff or grew up on their stuff, so they know all their tricks. So that they force the Bucks to use all their tricks,
Right. Oh yeah.
pulling the deep in the bag, but then also getting frustrated, going a little bit more down the heel side of things. It just built more stories, but I definitely didn't think that they needed to win, so that's why I didn't really like the ending, really, but whatever. But like other
I'm
than that, it was a really good
I'm
match.
gonna disagree with you a little bit because I like the ending because they haven't fully turned yet,
Hmm.
and two because they won. I believe they're number one contenders now, or they're being set up for a future tag title shot. And we all know what. Well, we'll talk about later, but we all know what happened, and that match needs to happen soon, and at least before the Bucks fully go to the bad side of things, like it's looking. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So, in that respect, I'm okay with the Bucks winning. Next,
yeah,
next match is the 21-man Casino Battle Royal for a future AEW World Championship match. Lance Archer wins. This was a decent battle royal, but everybody's just gonna remember Matt Sydal fucking the fuck up.
that was hilarious.
I
I don't
felt
know why.
bad. I felt bad for the
Yeah.
guy, but yeah, it was pretty hilarious.
So I got two of my predictions wrong. I thought Brian Myers would have been the mystery guy, and then I thought Darby would have won. But yeah, when
We
he
weren't
came,
counting the
they
mystery guy
made
though.
such a big deal out of it. Oh, the Joker winner coming out! Everyone stopped pretty much. Like the record stopped, scratched, and everyone stopped at the bar to look over, and then they saw him run out, try to do a moonsault, and just fall right on his back or right on his neck or whatever he did. And he's just like, what? I never heard of him before, unless he was the guy who faced MJF at All Out or
No,
All In.
that's Matt Cross. Did you watch WWE with Evan Bourne?
I don't think so. I wouldn't remember.
Okay. I knew he was because I remember Evan Bourne, and he's from my area. He's kind of like one of the big. He's one of the indie guys that got to start in this area and really went on to become something. He's been to. He was tag champions with Kofi Kingston in WWE at one point.
Hmm.
He was in he was in one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches at WrestleMania. He did some work in Ring of Honor. Him and Daniels were tag champs in Ring of Honor. He won the IWGP Junior Tag titles in New Japan. Impact Star. So like I knew the guy. I kind of I was shocked to see him, but wow, that was a bad debut. That is like some Shockmaster shit right there.
Yeah, that was like Titus sliding under the ring,
Yeah,
Shockmaster kind of shit.
yeah, that was bad. But as bad as that was, I'm happy with the result of this because, like I kind of said, Lance Archer opens the door for some Moxley back and forth with Jake the Snake Roberts, and I'm 100% okay with that. I don't think this will stretch all the way to Full Gear. I believe we'll get this payoff on a. I believe we'll get the payoff to this on TV, but FTR and the Bucks, that'll be on a pay per view. But still, I'm looking forward to the build up to this world title match.
Yeah, they've had a lot of. There was a lot of good people in the Battle Royal that could have won too. Like anyone, if you would have chose up to 5 different people, anyone had close of a chance of winning
Darby,
it. But
Brian Cage had a chance, even though he just kind of did his thing. But yeah, there's
yeah,
Darby,
Cage, Archer, maybe Darby.
Kingston, Ricky
Was
Starks
Wardlow
even.
in there?
No, Wardlow was not. I don't believe. No.
Uh, Ricky Starks. Yeah, a bunch of people.
So now we come to the part that really put a damper on the whole night and had everybody calling for AEW to go under and Tony Khan to be ousted and rightfully so to a point, at least the anger part, maybe not the to that extreme. But we have Matt Hardy versus Sammy Guevara. This was bad.
Yeah, the only reason why it was so bad was that they continued the match.
Yes.
Because it was just like you guys, like clearly he couldn't when Matt Hardy took the bump, it was like, all right, to call it off, everyone would have been fine with it just being called off, and then to swerve the angle later, they could have done it on the BTE, they could have done it on Sammy's thing, they could have done it on Dynamite, on Dark. Oh, I'm not done with Hardy. I don't, I'm gonna challenge him to another match or whatever the hell they could have done.
Yeah.
But the fact that they restarted it after he clearly couldn't stand up and like focus or whatever, and then climb a damn scaffolding after,
Yeah.
like, oh man, if you're gonna continue the match, do a quick roll up and lose or whatever. Don't have him climb up 11 feet that he's gonna potentially fall off of, make it worse. But it's not, like I said, I'm not going to be like, oh, he does, rest in peace, this is the nail in the coffin or whatever the hell, because you see this shit happen everywhere, all the time. Nia Jax, it hurts people all the time, or, Seth Rollins with the buckle bomb, but he was still allowed to do it. So it's like, all this stuff where it's like, you can't say,
have all these people, claiming, here's my piece on the whole thing. It was wrong from time. Even me being as big of an AEW supporter as I am, there's nothing I can justify about this.
Mm-hmm.
The one thing I will say, that is, Tony Khan has never been put in that position as a promoter yet, up to that point. And he made a judgment call that was absolutely 100% the wrong call. Now, you have a lot of people playing Monday or maybe it's Tuesday morning quarterback with this, and they have a point. You have your Jim Cornettes, your Bully Rays.
I haven't heard what he said, but I don't even want to listen to it.
I wipe my ass with what Jim Cornette and to a lesser extent Bully Ray have to say because they're kind of just haters. But if they're complaining about this decision, they're 100% in the right. Even a broken clock is right 2 times a day.
Mm-hmm.
But all these people saying like this is bad for AEW, this is gonna kill it, or I refuse to support this promotion, then you better quit fucking watching literally every other wrestling promotion there is.
Yeah.
Because even your favorite, if you're a New Japan, a WWE, a fucking independent fan or whatever, they've made the wrong call too. They've done it recently, and they will do it again.
And again and again, and like how just like you're saying. Every other promotion, name one that you like, and they've had someone probably die in the ring, but had the show continue. It happened in WWE, it happened in Mexico with Rey Mysterio, it happened in New Japan, I think, with or like a long time ago, I heard someone like
All Japan, or Noah, when Masawa died in the ring, and he was the promoter, the owner of the company, died in his own ring.
I mean, maybe not finishing the match or whatever, but they definitely finished the show, especially after tragic stuff like that. So it's like, yeah, Matt Hardy had a concussion. Yeah, it was horrible and stuff, but it could have, like, I'm not justifying it, but I'm not throwing AEW under the rug either, because this happens, and they should have called it off the first time they did. Like I said, Aubrey's either going to get super heat or super praise, and it sounds like she got a lot of praise actually.
Yeah, she did.
Um,
Aubrey did the right thing.
yeah, but definitely it's a learning moment for
Hopefully
them.
Tony
They're
Khan
gonna,
knows, hey, if this ever happens again, you call the goddamn match off. You just
yeah,
no, there's no questions. You call it off. On the flip
and I
side of
think
things, all the fucking AEW haters and fucking stands of other promotions going, now we got him. Maybe
right,
you
yeah,
need to take a fucking seat
gotcha.
over in the corner. It's like, okay, yeah, they fucked up one time. Hey, why is Nia Jax still employed if that's the case? Like you said, she hurt Becky and Dean Ambrose.
Right. Um, but shit, what was I gonna say? But it's just the whole thing. Where it's just like you can't
Absolutely right, Mercedes.
point fingers. You can't like you're saying. It's not exclusive. Botches aren't exclusive to AEW. So if you're gonna watch them all, or if you're gonna see right now, it's almost wrestling every single day of the week. So
Absolutely,
if you
yeah.
watch enough shows, you're gonna see enough botches, and then you can put it together yourself. But it's just like I mean, you can't trust a wrestler what they say in that moment either, because everyone's, oh, Hardy said he was fine. It's like, yeah, but he's also on adrenaline, or he's also a
Hardy's
professional at the
also old
finish, or
school. I mean, how many concussions do you think him and Edge and Christian and the Dudley boys, and
yeah,
God knows who else in all those ladder matches went, I'm good. I can't remember what town I'm in, but I'm fucking good right now. So,
hmm
100%, the AEW fan in me is not going to justify that decision. Wrong call, 100%. Should have stopped. Aubrey threw up the X. We, the fans, for the most part, would understand, like, oh, something fucked up. We're not going to hold them to the accountable for this stipulation. Dude fucking got a
right,
concussion. But, not justifying it, but at least kind of saying, put yourself in. Anybody can go, well, I would have stopped it. Well, I wouldn't have done it. Well, I wouldn't have done it. Tony Khan might feel like, oh, fuck, what do I do? What do I do? I've never had this happen in my promotion yet. Matt says he's good. Let's go. Let's finish. Let's get the finish. Let's get out of this match. You know,
yeah, yeah. It
Vince has
just
done
made it
that.
worse too, because
New
that
Japan has
was the
done that.
finish.
TNA has done that. Everybody's done that.
Yeah,
Wrong, but they've done it.
ECW,
ECW did it every fucking match, I believe.
right, jumping
But
off scaffolding and just
yeah,
It's just every wrestler is going to try to push himself. And Sammy Guevara likes to jump off, call stuff, whatever. Hardy's trying to pass the torch by keeping up with the young guys. Maybe maybe they should have reworked it, maybe whatever. But you can't. You're not going to know until it happens. So if the
right.
spot would have went well, then everyone would have been like, "Oh, that spot was amazing," and blah blah. But if now they went bad, oh, why are they even doing that? And blah. So it's just like 50
It's
50 is always hindsight, but still.
yeah, it's the one what this was brought up in another group chat. In again, the general theme between everybody I discuss wrestling with on the show or off is fucking awful call across the board. But something interesting that was pointed out was Cody was not at the show. He's off doing Stephen Amell's show
Oh,
about
really?
wrestling. Yeah, so Cody wasn't there. So Tony Khan kind of was put in this position, whereas if maybe you had a wrestler run it behind there, he'd be the one going, no, the fuck not. No, no, no. I've had a concussion. This isn't happening.
Right.
That's a
Yeah.
fan theory. I'm not saying that's exactly what happened. That's a fan theory, but it's just another layer worth mentioning.
Right, I can see that too. Yeah, I mean, just whatever. It was just the wrong call. At the end of the day, they should have called it off like they did, and then that should have been it.
Mm-hmm.
But the fact that they called it back, and then the fact that they went to the finish, and that was the finish, we're climbing up another thing. Potentially could have fell off of. It just like made it cringy to watch. I was just like, dude, please
Yeah.
don't fall off. Like So,
Hopefully,
yeah.
bad call. Bad call. Take your licks. Take your heat as a company, and learn from it. Move on.
Learn from, move on. If it ever happens again, then yeah, fuck them. Like yeah, but we'll see.
Yeah. Hopefully, it never happens again in any wrestling promotion, but hate to say it, it will. Maybe not necessarily
Right.
in AEW or WWE, but there's going to be a bad call about a wrestler's health made in the future. That's nothing new, for better or worse.
Yeah.
So we go on to, after that bit of garbage, we get the match of the night as far as I'm concerned. Hikaru Shida defeats Thunder Rosa to retain the AEW Women's World Championship. This was probably the best women's match in AEW history.
It's probably one of the better matches of the night too, which was
My match of the night, no questions.
yeah. But this was definitely this could have been really bad, especially because the girls were nervous after the first or what just happened or whatever.
Right.
But they absolutely nailed it. So it took
Yes.
my mind off of it completely. It was just professional show from there on out. Whatever, like everyone did their thing and did great at it. The last half of the show definitely outweighed the first half of the show for sure. But this is when it started being like, oh man, this like not only is this match really good, whatever, which is funny because they're like both ringers basically from outside companies, but it was just really, or no, yeah, I guess you can say she is, but it is a really good match, so
Yeah,
I liked it.
She is an AEW talent. She just also works for in Japan. So yeah, I love the match. Match of the night, no question. I know when the NWA gets back up and running, Thunder Rosa is definitely going to be defending her title again. But if they're going to let NWA talent come back or work and wrestle in AEW, I'd definitely be okay with with more Thunder Rosa. No questions asked. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Next match was a match that really surprised me and how good I found it. The 8-man tag team match, Matt Cardona, Scorpio Sky, Dustin Rhodes, and QT Marshall defeated the Dark Order, Brody Lee, Colt Cabana, Evil Uno, and Stu Grayson. I expected just kind of a garbage, it's a multi-man, time to go get a beer, time to go take a piss, time to, get some more snacks, but wasn't life-changingly great, but it was a damn fine match for what's normally a throwaway segment on all these pay-per-views. I thought it was good. Really good, even.
Yeah, this is like the time when you expected it to be a bathroom break, so you go to the bathroom, but you just hear the crowd the entire time, like, just cheering that, and you're just like, fuck, I'm missing it. Like, yeah, it was definitely one of those ones that surprised me, too, but I didn't really pay that much attention to it because like, it was my bathroom break one just by default of time or whatever.
Right.
But when I did watch it or pay attention to it, yeah, like you're saying, everyone had a really good spot to have, or everyone it was just a good overall match. But I'm surprised that Dark Order lost.
Yeah, me too. And again, it kind of continues the story. Colt Cabana not really aware of what the Dark Order is, and they've been being really nice and really supportive of Colt Cabana, trying to get him to join the Dark Order, but yet now Brody Lee's kind of mad at Colt Cabana, so we'll see how that plays into this story. And then also Dustin gets a future shot at the TNT championship against Brody Lee, and I believe Dustin's aging like a fine wine right now. He's been doing his best work since his WCW days here.
Yeah, they're going to give him his good run that he deserves before I think he's going to retire because he is looking pretty good lately, but I don't know if he has much left.
He is 50 years old, 51.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't know. Minoru Suzuki was a pioneer of MMA, and he's 52 years old and is the best he's ever been. So
I know, but I just don't want it to be like the point where he's like the Undertaker or whatever. Where it's like, I remember this guy was because he's such a character.
Right.
So it's like I don't want to be like I remember him when he was good.
I see what you're saying, and I'm definitely with you. I'm just saying.
Yeah.
As long as he's in good health, and as long as he's turning in performances like this, I don't want to rush the retirement on Dustin. Not by a long shot.
Yeah.
So next match was the AEW Tag Team Championship. FTR, Cash Wheeler, and Dax Harwood defeated Kenny Omega and Adam Page, the unofficially coined by me, the Drunken Lovers. This was a damn fine match. This is a damn fine match. I really liked it. It wasn't as good as the women's match, in my opinion, but it was very close. Like, if I were to... I hate giving star ratings because people look at the rating instead of, like, the thoughts on the match. And that goes across the board with anybody, even people who I read. But, like, if I were to say, like, the women's match was 5 stars, this was, like, 4.5. You know what I mean? Like, this is a really damn good match. And it, again, furthered more stories, set up more stuff for your TV going into next Wednesday. And FTR are the fucking champs, and the Young Bucks are the number one contenders. So, Collision Course coming.
Yeah, it's gonna be a good. That's what I was gonna say too. Like, I don't know if I enjoy. I'd probably give the match maybe just a 4, but I'm excited that Kenny is probably just gonna go on his own now. I'm excited that Bucks are the number one contenders and they're gonna have the match with that too, because that's the whole reason why they're even in AEW anyway. But they didn't rush right into it. They let the story build out, so it's gonna be a
Right.
great one. And so what's coming or whatever is more exciting to me than actually what happened during the match. But like all the story building that they're doing is
Oh,
just
yeah.
like unprecedented right now. It's
And this is
great.
this is a match that's been building since BTE began.
Right.
Whenever they started doing BT and actually started doing more than just travel vlogging, you know, FTR used to mean on BTE, fuck the revival. So, you know, this thing's been building for years, and I'm ready to see it happen. Some people we know kind of critical of the match, and I see their point to an extent, but I really don't think it was quite that bad.
No, I don't know. I don't think there was anything like bad that happened in it, but
No, I thought
it's just,
like overall it was a pretty damn good match. I mean, anything that wasn't quite on point is something that's maybe not quite on point in every match. So,
yeah.
um, but yeah, you're right. Maybe 4.5 would be a little bit over. I don't know. Like I said, I don't like giving star ratings because all you do, even with fucking Meltzer, it's like 5 stars. You didn't give this one 5 stars though,
Yeah.
or oh, you only gave that 2. That was a 4. So I just don't. I like reading what he has to say more than his star ratings, and even then, I don't think his opinion is fucking gospel. Other than I do,
Yeah.
other than I do like hearing what he has to say, just like us. He's a mark, just like us.
Right.
Next match, we have the Mimosa Mayhem match. Orange Cassidy defeats Chris Jericho by knocking him into the vat of mimosa. Hey, this was better than I thought it was going to be. I loved it.
Yeah, this one was really funny. It was just good to. It was just fun to watch. This is why I watch AEW. Like they know how to have fun. They like to have fun, and then with Jericho too, it's going to be good. So it's just like
They
this
know how
one
to have
was
fun. They
solid
know when to be
quality.
serious. They know, it's like to me. I compare it to it's like the Flash TV show. When it can be fun and serious, all within the same season. One week on the Flash, you can have a bunch of laughs, and then the next week it could be like uber serious, and you're like, oh no, what's gonna happen? This is the fun thing, but still really good. I'm glad Orange Cat. I can't remember who I picked. I think I picked Jericho to win, but then him still to go into the Mimosa just for Cassidy to get something back on him. But Jericho just flat out went in the Mimosa and lost. And in our
Yeah,
group
but he
chat,
didn't get pinned or he didn't tap or not, so he could still brag about that. Like I've only been pinned twice or
yeah.
whatever.
But the big thing, and I remember you mentioned this, is where does Jericho go from here? And that's a very, very interesting question because you just don't know.
Yeah.
I think Kenny's getting ready to turn bad, but I don't think he's gonna fully turn bad. I think he might do something bad in the match with Jericho, and maybe just because he does something bad in the match with Jericho doesn't mean Jericho has to turn to the good side. He can just Kenny
Yeah,
can.
but even if because Jericho would just be by default be the face and that thing just because people love him anyway. But just imagine if the whole inner circle went face but they're still like bad guys, but they're just like bad guys trying to act good.
Right.
Like you know what I'm saying? Like that'd
Yeah.
just be hilarious. Like
The other thing I kind of thought about with from where Jericho goes from here is I kind of thought that maybe they kind of go more with the Jurassic Express. He could start wrestling Luchasaurus, and You know, he did have that little spat with Jungle Boy last year. And the other thing I thought about was maybe he could start going after SCU because I've been wanting to see a full-on Daniels and Jericho rivalry since they announced they were both signing. So there's a few places they can go without having to change Jericho's alignment, if you will.
Yeah, he's been working over the younger guys. He's been working with. He worked with Joey Janela, right? At first, or
Yeah,
no, that was Moxley.
Moxley.
Um,
But I also point out, we talked about where's Jericho. Where does Orange Cassidy go from here?
well, I mean, sky's the limit for him. He can
I
probably challenge for the TNT title, or he can challenge for.
I can see him going after Brody. Honestly,
Yeah,
once Brody gets done with his thing with Dustin, because I don't see Dustin winning the title. So yeah, I definitely see Orange Cassidy getting a TNT title shot in the very near future, and possibly winning. We will see.
Cass. Hopefully, they don't just put him in a tag team or something like
Hopefully
other
not.
promotions.
Even
Oh,
though
you like these two guys? Oh, now they're a tag team. It's like,
yeah.
no, they're not. Damn it. But
So far, knock on wood,
yeah,
AEW's been good about not doing that, but any promotion anytime can make a liar out of you.
yeah, but yeah, I don't know. Like Jericho, if there's one newer guy that I want to see Jericho work with or whatever, it's like he did go with Jungle Boy by putting him over, and he still beat him or whatever, but he just like he did
They
good
went
with
to a
it.
draw. They went to a draw.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, they went to it was like a 10-minute challenge, and Jungle Boy survived the
Oh, because they
challenge.
were saying you can't last a 10. But I thought they had a proper match after that. I don't know.
You might be right. You're probably right.
But yeah, SCU could be good just because any one of those guys, any three of them, he could work with
Yep.
it because Kazarian and Daniels, they're both kind of like rock and roller guys, and then Scorpio Sky is just really fucking good. So
And then
anything they all do.
if you need some multi-mans, hey, throw Santana and Ortiz at Jericho against SCU, or throw them Hager versus Daniels and Kazarian. So you got some. I know they're trying to want to do Scorpio Sky as a singles, but I'm sure he'll go back and help his boys out if they need a hand with the inner circle.
Yeah.
Finally, we get to the main event. Jon Moxley, as he is known on AEW, defeated MJF with Wardlow. I love this match. I thought it was great. Everybody played their role well. MJF was awesome. Mox was awesome. Finish was awesome. Not
Hmm.
quite as good as the women's match. As good as the tag match, but still the finish was great.
Yeah. Yeah, I would say this one was like if the women's match was a 5, I'd probably say this is like a 4 or 7 5 because like it was just below it, but it
Right.
was just as good. Yeah. But yeah, Moxley and MJF are definitely headliners. Like they're definitely someone to pay to see, especially in a big match like that, whatever. So they've proved their worth. But it's just fun. It's just yeah, it was great.
We're looking. I mean, obviously they're now teasing some issues with Wardlow and MJF, and uh, you know, uh, it's something funny. This was pointed out on Reddit. A good observation, but Mox said something along the lines of, "It doesn't matter what I sign," and he still hit the paradigm shift. So that could have been some foreshadowing there when you look back at it, or it just could have been something he said. But no, in AEW, it could have been good foreshadowing because that's kind of something they do. Um,
Well,
AEW,
when
go ahead.
I was gonna say when they showed like the promo package at the beginning, or like hype you up for matches,
Yeah,
how he said at the end of this, I'm still gonna be the bad guy, and that's exactly what he did. Like he used cheating tactics or whatever, where he still did like a heel a bad guy move or won the bad guy way, but yeah, it's
right.
like they both. I don't know. Like I said, they're both headliners though, so the whole thing was just great,
Yeah,
enjoyable ending.
loved it, and basically, All Out is a tale of two shows. You have
Yeah,
the first
definitely.
half that kind of had one good match, but you had so much stuff fall flat, no pun intended. Well, in some cases, pun intended. I don't want to make light of any injuries, but you have the first match just kind of didn't know what it wants to be. You have a good second match. You have a battle royal that is known for just a botch finish, and then you have just something completely awful happen. But then you have the second half of the match where you're like, wow, here's probably the best women's match in company history. Wow, here's a surprisingly good multi-man
Hmm.
in what's normally the spot where things like this aren't good. Um, you have a damn fine tag match proving once again why AEW has the best tag division in wrestling today. You have entertaining fun match that still helps make a new star, and then you have a fantastic world title match. So I mean, it's kind of like, while it's definitely not as good as the original All In or All Out last year, while it wasn't as good as Double or Nothing or Revolution, um, by default, it's kind of the lower level AEW pay per view. Overall, what would you grade this one?
I give it a B. If the Hardy thing didn't happen at all, or just was called off at the first spell like they did, and that was it, whatever, then the whole pay per view it would have just been oh, the only bad match was the Big Swole match. Everything else would have been great. So it would have
Right.
been a solid A. Or if the Britt Baker match was in the pre-show and they switched those, just whatever. If they would have switched that first, if that the only thing that was bad in my opinion was that first match. The botch happened, like the botch with Evan, what's his name? Evan Bourne, Matt
He,
Sydal.
Matt Sydal, now he was Evan Bourne when he was in WWE.
But if his botch was just funny, that's nothing to like ruin a show over. I would never have said, "Oh, Battle Royal that sucked because this one guy slipped." It's like that's it. It was just funny, you know what I mean?
Right.
But like I said, like we're comparing it with the other funny. Well, I mean, Shockmaster literally did ruin his career for that thing, but
Yeah.
Titus was fine. It was just the funny, and we didn't. Oh, the whole show there sucks because Titus slid. It's like no, it's just a funny ass thing. Whatever,
Right.
moved on. The ending was still great. What happened with Darby was still great. All
Yeah.
that, you know. So the only match I didn't care for really was the Big Swole match, and that was just because, like I said, it just felt off brand or it just felt kind of
Didn't
cheap
know
or
what
it
it
just
wanted to
felt
be.
whatever. But yeah, but other than that, it was just a solid B for me. If the Matt Hardy thing didn't happen, or whatever, it would have been an A for sure.
Yeah, I'd say the same thing. I'm gonna give it a B. I kind of tiered between B minus and B, but I when you're really, after sitting here and just talking about every match individually, there was a lot more good on this show
Right.
than bad, and yeah, the bad stuff was awful bad, but I'd still say it's a solid B. It was still better than Full Gear, but definitely wasn't on Revolution, uh, Double or Nothing from either year, or
Hmm.
anything like that. But solid B. Definitely brought up by the second half of the show and the performers in the second half of the show coming alive, and hopefully, you know, the company learns from their fuck up, learns that hey, you can't do this kind of shit. When this happens, you gotta fucking quit.
And
Um,
especially because their company is built by the fans. So if you piss off the fans by doing something like that, by putting the wrestler in legit danger or whatever, they're gonna turn on you. You know what I
yeah,
mean? So they got to learn from this lesson for sure. Because if they do it again, like I said, if they do it again and they or have an accident like that blatantly obvious, or it's like you need to stop, but they keep doing it, like I said, people will turn on them. They're just gonna be like, all right, fuck this.
yeah.
But they legit it just happened. So it's a learning experience. I'm not going to fault them too bad for it, but definitely drag the pay per view down a little bit.
Oh yeah.
But
But yeah,
yeah, good
that
show
is
overall.
a good show overall. Take a look at there. Yeah, you did predict that last week on the stream, so yeah, you're right. And you were right, even though Colt Cabana fucked it all up. You're right to get quite the haul heading your way next Tuesday. But you don't have to wait till next Tuesday to hear back from us again. We will be back for our normal recap show on Thursday.
Mm-hmm.
If you like the idea of us doing a Monday or a Tuesday show after a big pay per view to do our review, let us know in the comments section below, and we will come together for more of this. And if you enjoyed this video, please give it a like, share, subscribe for more content. Not just from the world of wrestling, and I can honestly say that now. Got comic content, new comic content coming every Sunday now. My collection comic of the week. Be on the lookout for that series of videos every Wednesday. The Geeking Out podcast. Be on the lookout for that. And yeah, follow me on my social media pages, facebook.com/athleticgeek89, Twitter @athletic_geek89, and Instagram @athleticgeek89. Eric, thanks for doing this show on short notice. Kind of when I got this whim of an idea while I was bored at work. Just kind of like, hey, let's fucking do this. So, yeah. So, for Eric, I'm the Athletic Geek. We are just two marks. We're out. Have a good one.
Nice. And when is Dynamite this week? Is it on Wednesday like normal? The playoffs are over, everything?
I believe it's Wednesday, yes.
Nice.
I'll get back to you privately if it's not.
It's been randomly this past couple of weeks.
Yeah.